It's Brittany, bitch.
Hello. Hi, Wolfie. Hi, Britt. Yeah, Head Automatica. I feel like there's like so few people who know who they are. Hi, Oni. Welcome in. Did you have a nice birthday yesterday? I'm so sorry that I didn't get to like really chat with you guys yesterday. Obviously, I was doing the race, so I couldn't really do very much, but yeah. Oh shoot, I need to go back. I need to go back to the main menu. Game. Yes, quit. Because it's just me tonight, no Dirge. So I need to turn it on to single player mode so that I can pause if I need to. Since I won't be able to be revived or anything. You went to play Top Golf? Nice. Alright, find the survivors. Alright, I have to refresh my memory here. If it's locked at the fire electrical station, we have the best chance of fight. Oh, yeah, and then, okay, so I remember at the very end yesterday or Friday, whatever, that I unlocked the other, so if I do this, and I ride this tram, it's the tram that's connected to this one now. I remember that. I gotta finish some games, guys. Borderlands is coming out on Friday. Gotta try to finish some stuff. I'm kind of excited. Okay, let me talk about Water Park Sim. I bought Water Park Sim. I was excited to play it, and I don't know if it's just me or if anybody else is experiencing this, but like my character gets bugged after I build something, and he'll walk like this. Every really slow, like he's like, and I have to like refresh my game like 6 times. And it has happened every time I've tried to play, so fuck that game. I don't understand what's going on. Hi, Horseman. Welcome in. Yeah, I know, and it only happens after I build something. So, like, I don't fucking know. And I was like, that's obnoxious. Is that co-op? Britt, is that co-op? I watched somebody play. Emily, Codbro Game Time plays it. I watched. Yeah, ragdolling. That's the thing, is I would try to run or like jump to get it out of like the weird staggery glitchy thing that it's in, and I would like ragdoll and die or like fall, and I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, is that co-op? Because I'll do that with you for sure. Oh, just look at this. Look at the Steam page. Look at the Steam page. Oh, there's something else that I found out was co-op, and I was like, you know what? I think Britt would really like this. And now I can't remember what it is. I wish I could remember what it is. But I literally specifically was like, oh, Britt might like to play this with me. Oh, I think it's Haven Dock. I think Haven Dock was what it was. Horseman, how are you? How was your day? I heard you were getting picked on in Red Dead. Oh yeah, as I was saying, I made a little, I kind of like, I don't want to say copied GG, but I took inspiration from GG and I made like a little raid, like a raid screen before like the raid video. So that's kind of I'm excited to like maybe possibly get on raid to show that off. All right. Oh! I saw him. Sadly, it is single player. Damn. Missed opportunity there. Just saying. Haven Dock. Yeah. Pretty sure that's the one. Do I win? Of course you do. You are a winner, Wolfie. You're a champ, though, for real. I don't think you've missed a stream. That's probably like an entire year's worth of streams at this point. 130? Oh, you know what though, Britt? You know what though, Britt? Coral Island co-op update just came out, and Coral Island, I personally think Coral Island is like 100 times better than Stardew. I find it so much more fun. Sir, stop that. People in there flying around throwing TNT. I hate people like that. Hello, sir. Oh, the lights just turned off. Great. I've heard that. Yeah, I really enjoy Coral Island more than I enjoyed Stardew. And I couldn't necessarily give you an exact reason as to why. Oh, a hydro pipe. That's new. Why I enjoy it more, because it's pretty much the same formula. But I really like it a lot more for some reason. Maybe I feel like maybe like energy goes a little bit longer, so you don't feel like your entire day is like racing against like how much you can get done. You know what I mean? That might be it. I'm trying to figure out how I can get... I think I'm just gonna go here. Take a hit. No, sir. Nope, sir. No, sir. Oh, that's a 5. Fuck me. Alright, well, he's definitely gonna kill me. Oh, not. No, he's not. No, he's not. I can't see shit, though. Like, I don't know where I'm going. Ooh, I feel like I'm supposed to really get something in there, though. Where is he? Like, how close is he? Where is he?
So I was pumping iron the other day.
I don't know where he is. Hard time playing Stardew for that reason. I get overwhelmed by the task I'm supposed to be doing in that little time. Exactly. What are you holding? It's like a zappy stick or something. Hello. I don't know where this sniper is.
Boy, I hope it's Pizza Friday.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like this, like, it's technically called a tech scepter is what it's technically called. Hi, Dave. Welcome in. How are ya? How was your weekend? But it's a zappy stick. Let's be real. Oh, wait. Oh, I hear you. I hear you. Come here. Come here. All right, fine. I won't look at you so you can get closer. I hate that motherfucker makes that noise. Come here. Exactly. Mondays, am I right? Do you see him? I don't know if you can see him. He's crawling right there. There's like weird like co-workers that just like crawl around at night. This game is so fucking weird, dude. How was everybody's weekend? What did you get up to? I lost my Elden Ring race yesterday and I was really butthurt about it because I'm a full-ass grown adult. Does this hurt them? That's too bad. I didn't lose. We got third. We got third out of 5. But it wasn't first. The full-ass grown adults. I am very competitive. That's, yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what it was. I was like, the nerves were getting the better of me and stuff. And I was like, it's literally not that serious. Like, there's not even like a prize for winning other than just like being cool, you know? You competitive? Never. Now I've passed you. Wait, what? How? Huh? I don't know. That just scared me. I didn't realize there was anything in here. Stop. I've passed you? How? Oh, maybe not. Yeah, no, I have to find the survivors. Find the survivors. No, we all had the same seed. It's a level 5 hacker. No. Yeah, I can count to 4. I can count to 4. I have to sneeze. Phew, excuse me. A rotary pump. Picking up one of those yet. Now the lights are back. Blessies, thank you. Thought it is a rando, but we all had the same seed. That was the whole point. Like, you can manually type the seed in so that everyone has the same seed. Oh, that was weird. That, like, hurt my jaw. Maybe I clenched it too hard when I sneezed. This game is, like, just the right amount of spooky where it's not too scary that I don't want to play, but I definitely stuff, like, catches me off guard sometimes, and I'm like, what the f... And I get scared. And I get scared. I don't like the way this is laid out. This area. Yeah, this is my first time exploring it. This is where we stopped. As soon as I unlocked this, I stopped on Friday. So I have not been here at all. There's a lot of up and a lot of down and... Of course there's gonna be a new enemy type in here that I'm gonna have to learn. Oh, this is literally a circle? Okay. What's your Halloween game gonna be this year? Do you need... It's gonna be the same... You guys have not reached... I've put this goal up a bunch of times and you guys have not reached it one single time. I still have Alien Isolation, like, ready to go. Trying to think. I was going through clips last night, desperately trying to find any content for a new raid video. And I was like, damn, like we Phasmo'd really hard, and then like I never touched Phasmo ever again after that. Especially with all the updates. Tram station. I don't know. Anything new coming out that's good? Can't pick any of that up. Oh, the new Resident Evil's coming out, right? It came like twice, really? You, especially, really? Like, you played that shit solo. Yeah, maybe the new Resident Evil. Now that I've played those a couple times and I'm like, I don't want to say desensitized, but I'm just like a little bit less like scared of them because I know they're more fucked up than they are scary. No new games are coming out ever. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh yeah, I went in there already. Yeah. Well, you obviously mean after Borderlands 4 that comes out next week. Clearly, that's what you mean. I'm a scaredy toddler instead of a scaredy baby. Exactly. Exactly. My toddler eyes have come in. My baby eyes have fallen out. Did I just go in a circle again? Yes. Wait, how did I get in here in the first place? This way. I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how to get anywhere. Okay, that's there. I was having this conversation at work the other day because one of the guys I work with was like, damn, my girlfriend like has no sense of direction. Like, she never knows where she's going, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, listen, as somebody who like genuinely inherently has no sense of direction, like this is not something that like I'm happy about. You know what I mean? Like, I hate not having a sense of direction. I hate like not remembering where I was like 20 seconds ago. Like, this is not a way I want to live my life. Don't make fun of her. She's probably struggling. Oh, that's this. Okay, 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 okay. Now I understand. Okay. Oh, I am very stuck. Thank you. Alright, so this... I know, my guy. I know. Yeah, yeah, it's supposed to be a futuristic one. Aya and I looked it up when we finished, what's it called? Yeah, it's like a weird, it's like a futuristic one, which is different than what they normally do. Alright, so clearly I have to keep going forward this way. Yeah, the devil in me. Mm-hmm. Yar. Okay, so I can't go in the electrical grid yet, so I have to go up here. Five? I don't have 5. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Oh, I want the rifle. What can I get rid of? Hey, 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 Bruh. Bruh, where did you all come from? You were not here a second ago. What? And you were not here a second ago. What? He didn't drop the rifle for you? Well, I can't help that you are just not as good as me. You have to kill him so hard that his rifle just falls out of his butthole. It fucking did. Alright. Now, leave me alone. I want to pick up this rifle. No! No! That one. Bruh. Bruh. Oh, I got both of them? No way. They were not both, like, that close to being dead. Come on. Class 5? Why? What? What do I need? Can I even make it? I don't even have the thing for it yet. What? Okay, so then, like, what do I fucking do here? Find the survivors. Okay, I shall try. Oh, can I unlock this? Oh, this is just a button. I can unlock that one. Hello. Oh, okay. Nothing. No computers. You can, but that one is stupid. Yeah. Fair. Okay, so... I have to get over there? How do I get over there? And I don't have class 5, so I can't unlock any of that. Wait. It's this way. There's a man over here that I have not had the pleasure of murder. Maybe he won't see me because I'm so sneaky. Maybe he won't see me because I'm so sneaky. Oh, come on. Is this an old game? Or it's new, but it looks old. It's, yeah, like pixely graphics. Yes. Welcome in, Dibbles. How are ya? Yes, this came out this year? Yeah, earlier this year. Wait, what's this? Coil winding. That's what I can't pick up. Okay. Alert. Thank you. Wait, why is this glowing yellow? Why is it glowing yellow? Weird. I don't know why I'm smashing that. I can't pick any of that up. Duct tape I can. Do you have anything? Nope. Okay. Ooh, a security based. Oh, I hear somebody.
Sounds like you've had an idea.
No! A jumpy puzzle. Ah! See, I knew it. I knew it. I don't have the jump thing. I might need to get it. The weapon looks straight out of 1998. Listen. This was crafted crisp 2025. Yeah, I need the Chester guy to help me carry things. I know. It's pretty fun though, honestly. I mean, it's very goofy. It's a little spooky. Like, it's not scary, but it's just like sometimes like stuff jumps out at you, or you know, big monsters jump out at you. But it's very fun. I find it very fun. It's very goofy. But I'm enjoying it for sure. Okay. Guy Gary. Gary with the arms. Oh look, here he is, Horseman! Here he is! Hey! Alright, so I have to get this puzzle and not screw it up. Oh! Oh! Hey! Look at that. Hey! Hello!
I'm glad you're still alive. And look, this is going to sound ridiculous, but we need to get down to reactors.
Why?
With the dark lens gone, it's the only working portal equipment in the facility. A way out. So what if we opened the spillway? All that water ends up in one place. Reactors. Nobody would expect us to risk our lives like that, which is exactly why we should do it. It could be our only chance.
If you're serious about opening the spillway flow control,
Yes?
I can tell you 2 things.
Sir, your glasses.
Start with the power system over there. These quakes triggered a shutdown, but should reset easy enough. The next part's not gonna be so easy. You need to reboot the spillway computer, unlock the flow valves, and bring the central network transmitter back online somehow.
That's insane.
It could be done.
Do you have the level 5
But-
hacker recipe?
How desperate are you?
I'm desperate enough that I
How you
need the
got
level
through it
5
in one
hacker.
piece, I can't imagine. I came through a portal from labs and it spat me out here. I should have known better, but what was I supposed to do? Just wait for them to find me?
How's that power system looking? You reset it yet?
Obviously the fuck not. I haven't moved. Ugh. Cool, I don't have any space to pick up that essence. Essence of Layak. Gary! You still don't have the level 5? Damn, that means it's pretty far away. How's my water? Pretty fine. Pretty fine. Alright, so... Okay. Okay, so now that's open. Okay. So... Dang, I'm really far back from home, too. And I'm very full. Hello, Dr. Mance.
Dr. Derek Mance reporting.
Dr. Derek
Research
Mance
Director,
reporting.
Gate Cascade Research Facility. Our neutrino detector is finally online. It's about time. The calibration is complete, and we're seeing the first faint suggestions of activity. Placing the detector in the depths of the hydroplant reservoir was a challenge, but the
Oh yeah, I have to
ideal
go back to the
location for
jumps.
such a device. It should keep the photon
Why are they
detector
glowing?
safe too. We've noticed something else. The neutrino detector attracts perforation targets itself, possibly due to its shielding. At any rate, it's frustrating. Every time a portal appears in the reservoir tower, we have to recalibrate the entire apparatus.
Hello? Why? It's so weird that these are glowing. Hello?
I will free you.
I will free you from your body and your life. I don't know what all these new pieces do, so I'm just gonna grab a bunch of them. Interesting. I can go down here. Hello? The fuck is that noise? Oh, I don't like it. Wanna feel old? Oh no, do I? A motor? Okay, so these are also new. So let's get rid of pens and cloth. Pick up this cog and this motor. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like but they glow like through walls and stuff. So that's why I'm like, they clearly want you to like pay attention to them. As of yesterday, no, we are not old enough for your oldest to be dating. Please tell me that that's not true. We cannot be old enough that no. 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 Oh god. What a horrible world we live in. What a horrible world we live in. That we're that old. Not that your child has a significant other. Obviously your child is wonderful and I love them. But I'm saying it's horrible that that's how old we are. It's more, Wolfie, it's more just because, like, Britt and I have literally been friends, like, since her child was born. So it's just like, you know. Wait, why am I looping? I need to go this way to get back to the tram. Let's drop my shit. Oh wait, that means that he's gonna respawn. Alright, I'll just have to make more of those bandages. This is kind of a nice little station right there. I want to know. That's what I said. I was like, no, we can't be that old. I refuse. You haven't seen the snipers respawn yet. That's good to know, actually. I have to blow my nose. What's the quick 2-sentence story on this game? Basically, you are an entry-level employee in this giant science lab that has been mysteriously taken over by alien monster creatures, and you're trying to get out of the lab. More or less. There's a lot of Half-Life similarities, yes. A lot. That's the very first connection that a lot of people who either play this game or watch people play this game say. A survival craft version of Half-Life, yeah. More or less, yeah. Alright, while Dirge isn't here, what if I just, like, rebuilt all of the storage? And we have the large storage now, don't we? Oh, we need this? Carbon plating? I need refined carbon for it, though. Okay, well... I guess we'll just make a couple more of these guys then. Move everything somewhere else. That would be even funnier, to be honest. Honestly, what we need to do is we need to just get rid of a lot of, like, duplicates and stuff. Like, we have so many, like, old weapons and armor and stuff that we're just like we're not using them anymore. We've moved up, we've upgraded, you know. Oh, a screwdriver. What am I doing? Being an idiot, that's what I'm doing. It's like, I know we have 1,000. An auto salvager that'll break down everything you put in it. Oh, like a recycling bench. Like, but like not the repair bench recycling bench. I get what you mean. All right, I want to move the, yeah, I want to move stuff. They're just gonna come back and like, well, listen, you didn't want to play tonight, and I did, so here we are. There are so many people here right now who were not here for that wonderful experience of the Terry spam. The funniest part is we were all just like concerned for you, Britt. We were like, Britt, like, are you good? Like, what are you doing? And then you come back and you're like, oh, guess who has 0 channel points left? A Terry, well, nobody had done it before. Like, nobody had spammed it before, that there was like, there's no need to get a Terry cooldown, you know, like there was no need. Nobody had done it before, and it was just like oh, Terry. Hi, driver. Welcome in. How are you? Hungry? I'm kind of hungry too. I should probably get some food before it gets too late, huh? I'm gonna start breaking down a lot of stuff, I think. Yes, eat. I know. Driver, what happened to us playing something today? You were blue a second ago with it. Come on. Thank you. OMG. Mm-hmm. Yep. Some Del Taco. I'm actually sad right now. Well. What is in here that's radioactive? Oh, this. Should go put it in the other thing. Radioactive in here too. His cola is radioactive? I didn't think I knew that. I have no excuse. Just saying, you literally were the one who was like, we're gonna hang out today. And I was like, okay. How come this one doesn't have a bar? How come these two do? Do they need to be repaired? Oh, yes they did. Wait, there's more in here? What's in here that's radioactive? I took, oh, the Kiz Cola again. I genuinely wanted to. I don't know. Alright, I'm getting radioactive over here though, so let's put this stuff in here. And it slipped my brain. Just saying. This whole thing was your idea. Oh, can I make a radioactive one? This? What is this? A magazine stand? Taken from a city street. Where the fuck do you get a magazine stand from? A hazard fridge plus a hazard crate. Fuck you, game. Fuck you. A portal toilet. Does this portal my shit away? Is that your real hair? No. It's a wig. Damn. A Kristen Whig? Will you wear wigs? I think I need to back off other things in life for a minute. Well, I mean, no, like, you don't need to, like, not do your things to, like, because you said you would hang out with me. Like, I'm just saying. This whole thing was your idea, and you were like, we're gonna hang out. A disc turret, eh? What's this? A harpoon spear. Oh, I can make this. A spear capable of dragging targets towards you. With a secondary blow on weakened targets. That's kind of dope. Strong, sturdy pipe, but nothing you haven't seen before. Interesting. I kind of want to make that. I'm just curious. I only have one motor, though. Damage 35. Is that better than the one I have? How do I see the one I have? Damage 25 plus 14, so that's more. I'm very big on if you say you're gonna do something, you do it. Sometimes easier said than done. Good for you. Yeah, I agree.
Good evening. Today is power and
I'm a big fan of people canceling me so I don't have to commit.
shortly.
That's kind of sad at both, like, on both sides, though. Like, I get it, because sometimes I'm like, damn, like, I made a plan for something that I don't want to do now, and I hope they cancel, so I don't have to be the asshole. But I also, like, get it. Materials kind of sucked. Need to get something to eat before it gets too late, and I don't know what I want. Yeah, I made some more storage so I could get, like, look at, like, we're not using these, like, we're not using all this stuff. Sanic? I could do Sanic. Hi, Nikki! How are you? Welcome in. Is this that game we were talking about last night? What is this? I don't remember what we were talking about last night. This is Abiotic Factor. I have been playing this with Dirge. Dirge has kind of not really been in the mood to play lately, which is totally fine because he's wanting to play other things. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. I put my thing away and I don't remember where I put it. Here it is. No, this is Abiotic Factor. This is the one that you came in the other day and that you said it, like, looks like Half-Life and stuff. Yeah. Maybe some food too or whatever. Yeah, I need to get some food. I need to order some food. I don't know what I want though. So with the rules from Clue and the batteries and the Moida and spacesuits. No, that's Lockdown Protocol. That's Lockdown Protocol. I'll use my mom voice if I have to. Okay. Is there any Chinese that are still open right now? Panda Express. Ugh, I don't want Panda Express. Just not gonna heal and just stay laid down for a second. Or else no dessert. Wow, you guys are aggressive. No, I just don't want Panda right now. I just don't want Panda. Aggressive love, yes. I know. I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now. Alright, I think I'm gonna get this place. Now, okay, guys, help me pick. Do I want a quesadilla? Or do I want maybe like a burger? Maybe I'll just get a cheeseburger. You want Asian food? I want Chinese, but I don't want panda right now because I want lo mein and they don't have lo mein. A burger sounds good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get a burger. I think I'm going to get a bacon cheddar burger. Is that your only option? For right now, because it's late and because I live in Bumfuckville. But yeah, I can pause because it's single player. And then I just need to get... How much Starbucks do I have left? Please. I just need to get a drink. I kind of want mozzarella sticks, but I don't think I'm gonna get them. Take us on the ride. Take us on the ride to pick it up. That could be cute. That could be cute and fun. But alas. Alright. Okay, ordered. Need to go lurk so you can make your own dinner? Good night, Ark. Thank you for stopping in. Why can't I move? Oh yeah, because I'm in bed.
The safety rating of this sector is now -4. Please exit this sector via the
Okay.
surface tunnel.
Was any of that other new stuff important? Get out of my house, sirs. I hear you. I hear you. Need to get more antiverse gems. Dirge used all of our stuff. What's this? Super Stove 4000. Carbon Stove 4000. Whoa! That one's kind of cool. This a carbon plot. Lorg. Hotwire kit, SUV, bridge carbone. All right, so I need to go back because I need to find the level 5 hacker. Like there's no other way of putting it. I need the hacker. I need the hacker. Let's take that. Let's take my zapper-do back. I'll take these. Leave all of these. What is the screaming? Why are we screaming? Where'd you order from? I actually can't say because it's a local place. And how I could have ordered better? Well, I got a cheddar, bacon cheddar burger from a local place. You mean McDonald's? Yep. That's exactly what I mean. The local McDonald's. The local McDonald's down the street. No, I haven't had McDonald's in 5 ever. I got real sick from them one time. Like, real sick from them one time. And it just, like, tainted my, like... My McDonald's experience for forever. A bacon burger, just call it a Whopper. Better than a Whopper, at least. At least. Just wait my turn. Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces pass, and I'm homebound. Oh wait, those were the survivors? Lol. I was like, I gotta find the survivors too. Those were the survivors, silly. Silly. Okay. Oh, I forgot there's tram storage. That's fine though. Wait, is this guy back? Nope. Nice. All right. The electrical station, the spillway computer, the flow valves, and the transmission tower. Sonic did that for me and my roommate. Didn't get them for 10 years later. 10 years? I don't... I'm still angry. I was about to say, Nikki. I don't know when I will try McDonald's again. I'm sure, like, the next time I'll try it will be the next time, like, I'm out with somebody and they want to get it, but, like, I'm not about to go get McDonald's anymore.
Adversary.
Hey! I killed you already. Don't make me teach you this lesson again, old man. Damn straight. Give me all your shit. Hey, give me your shit. Yep. Did I tell you the big New London? It was hella sus. Like an office at fire at 2 a.m. It's closed indefinitely, and I'm pissed. Yo, the amount of times, because that BK used to be the one that was open late, and then suddenly they're like, no, we're closing at like 11 or something absolutely absurd, and everyone was like, what? When you're forced in there, yeah, and there's nothing else, like a hurricane and everything's closed except for the local McDonald's because they never close. Oh, there's men. I wish there wasn't. I wish there wasn't.
I will free you.
Free me from what? What does that mean? I just freed you from your life. Oh my gosh, I'm already full, guys. I'm already full. 10:30 and BK not exactly. BK was supposed to be the way. I tried this. Do I really have to do the jump puzzle thing? Because I don't know. Also, I don't remember how to get over there. Hello, lady. Okay, so this way. And then... It was outside, wasn't it? I also miss when Walmart was open 24/7. Stupid COVID. I don't remember where it was. Both involve jumping. Yeah, I'm trying to remember how I got there, though. This is still not open, right? Oh, no, it is open. Okay. Wait, this is the bottom. This is where if you fail, you go to. Okay. So then it's above. It's back in the room I was in? No way. No way, Jose. Yeah, that's... I can't do anything with that one. I remember that. The breathing, though, man. The breathing. Oh, you were right. Okay, now the problem is jumping is not anything that I'm very good at. See? I don't... Okay. Why does he jump so fucking far, though? I just wanted a little baby jump, not a huge jump. It's gonna be annoying. I can already tell. Not sure if having... Oh wait, can I just build a bunch of bridges across? Because that would be funny. That's crazy. I can't do this. This is crazy. See? Oh, nope, nope, stay. What are you doing? What are you do? What the fuck was that? Was I like stuck in like a part that you couldn't jump on? That was kind of strange. Screws. Oh, damn. All right, I need stuff. You never went that way? Is the other way easier? Whatever other way that you said you'd know of. Quake. I love whoever made this game. They definitely throw a lot of classic, like, 90s, early 2000s game references in this, for sure. Alright, I need to find some metal so I can make some bridges, which I don't know, man. I would probably need, like, 37 bridges to get across there. Oh, show. Jump over a rail? Hoopst is speaking. Who is speaking? Jump over a rail, he says. Oh my gosh. Like here? No, that's the same place. There's no way that was too far. There's no way that that was a far enough jump to kill me. I've jumped so many places in this game. Also in the same room where the door to the jump puzzle is. Okay. I've literally got, like, launched in the air on those jump things and gone further than that. Okay. Might also kill you without other help. Interesting. What if I just am the strongest and bravest in the whole world and I just do it anyway? Where? First of all, where do I have to end up? Like, where does that actually end up when you take the right way? What's over there? I'm a fucking gamer. Where's this? Adversary. You're shooting a shotgun at a very far distance, you twat. Adversary.
Increasingly, we believe IS-064, the composer, is not an individual being.
Wait, are you telling me there's gonna be a fucking creature that's gonna be called the Composer?
Reach this entity, nor opened another perforation
shall
to
preserve
its
the
original
world.
domain. We achieved close contact of a sort, but now it seems to be we've had ISO2 right in the aquarium. We are unsure how it managed this. I'm right. Covered it.
I have no fucking clue where I am now because I jumped over all that. Sir!
There were several
Jeez.
specimens, but it seems to have
I need the
been sold as
carbon.
remaining competitors. I have better things
Let's
to do than
get
repeat
rid
myself,
of
but as
this.
directed by the
Pick up the
executive, I
carbon.
remind
Okay.
staff,
Hello.
swimming alongside the beast is prohibited.
Goodbye. Meester. Let's go get this layawak. Hello. Mr. What is that? What is that? Why is that? What is that? Why? You dropped your papers. I know, I literally littered. Littering and smoking the reefer. Where's the button? Wait, where's the button? Come back. I gotta do this button? Snozberries taste like snozberries. Ooh, look at them being so sneaky with all these little pathways. Oh, that's water. Okay. Hello? Who is screaming? Ma'am? Whoa. Whoa! Nice work. The photon receptors in the neurodetector. Very impressed. Gonna need a lot more. Thanks for the feedback. Our reservoir conditions are horrific. Receptors is a lot better. Some complications around IS 0142. No one's sure how altering the reservoir's water content. Make sure my food's not here. Okay. The glowworms. Hey, Steven. Quick questions. I was in the dam doing some work, and I noticed something. Have the glowworms been moving? Sure, they've all moved since I was here. Have you noticed anything? Glowworms? No. They're worms. They glow. That's all I notice. Looks like they're bunched up. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that's in the other room. The big room that we were in. You guys start a new machinery? We don't know. It's half between us. I'm only here at random. We don't know. Yeah, maybe look. I don't really want to talk about it over email. It'll come up. Interesting. Okay. Looking at this plant, the dimweed. The most remarkable thing is it seems to grow at low light levels. I should discuss it. It's called murkweed because the water is so murky. I'd say it's more dim, so dimweed. Okay, eldest scrolls. That's not what they call it? Yeah. That's what they were trying to call it, though.
Do you, Abe?
Hello?
Janet.
Damn it, Janet.
I don't think this is the way out of here.
Oh, look who it is. Hello?
Hello. That's it? Hello?
Well, I've had a good look down here, and
Abe, this submarine
her.
isn't going anywhere.
You've got a skirt on, ma'am. Jeez. Have a little dignity. Okay, there. No, I'm going down, thank you. Do you come with the submarine? I hope not. It's very loud. Spillway. Spillway. Um. Looks like I gotta go over to that scary dude. Where does this go? Where does this go? Ugh. Oh, it goes more uppies. Locked door, now unlocked. Oh, okay, that's here. Okay. Hello, sir, I killed you. Do 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 do. Overwhelm the creepy monster with the power of friendship. Well, you see. Am I supposed to jump puzzle around this motherfucker? What is it? The cattle prod? Yeah. Let me shoot a laser at him. Wait, can I? I think I can get safe if I need to. Do you like lasers? No? You don't like lasers? Let me shoot you in your chest vagina. Come here. Sir? No. No, I'm stuck. I was trying to shoot him in his little chest. Vajoosh. Nope. No touchy. Alright, fine. What, do I poop you? You're terrifying, but also kind of dumb. Stop. No! He has struck me. Can he reach me back here? I don't like it. Does this do anything to this guy? Stop. You can't reach me. Get out of here with that. I mean, it's taking damage, but like some of them are weak to certain things and they need to be hit with certain elements or whatever. About electricity. I mean, he's like staggering for like a second, but he might need... Like, he might need... Like, do you like light? Does light bother you? Does light hurt you? No? Okay. So I'll just keep poking you in the head. Hey, stop! Do they just have 1,000 million health? Hey! Bruh. I just don't know. Like, this is crazy. Like, I don't know if it's actually... Like, is this how you hurt it? Kill it? No. Okay, so like... I think you're meant to sneak around. I mean, he has to have a weakness. I just don't know what it is. Is it fire? He's bones. Like, looks like he's like a skeleton bone man. Okay, I'm missing everything for some reason. Sneak has gone out the window, I'm afraid. It's never too late. I'm just gonna keep doing this until maybe he dies. Like, they've got to go down eventually, right? How do I get over there, though? Over here? Over here? Now where? Ah! It's never too late to sneak around your dreams. Oh, you can't hit me up here, though, which is great. Oh, you can. No, there's no way I can make that. I don't think I can make that jump. Let's go. Let's try. Ah! Can't touch it. Spinning it. It's locked. It's locked. No. Sir. I figured it out. Amazing. I'm a gamer. What is this? A single photon. Keypad hacker number 5! Let's go! What do I need for that? Also, I have to pee, and I think my food just got here. So. Okay, I need a photon receptor. Does it tell me where I can get these? Hold on, I didn't read it. Our receptors I had are being used. We had a few lying around, but someone with the chain has decided they're security. There's something about their optics being a threat. Try and get you some, but between Wrecker and it's like getting paranoid. Oh, okay. Break time. Okay, break time. All right, guys. You know, so obviously you know that means that if I get up, Little Miss is gonna get up, which means I'm gonna have to let her. Excuse me? Oh, there's a sniper. I'm gonna have to let her out as well. So I'll be back in a few minutes. I will put words on stream up because I might be gone for like maybe that long. No, I don't even think I'll be gone that long. I really don't think I'll even be gone that long. So I'll be back in a couple minutes, guys. I return. Everyone did their business, and by everyone I mean obviously Ellie. I know I'm talking about you. I know I'm talking about you. Oh my gosh, my burger. My burger. Looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. All right. So it said that I have to look for what's. Got a few lying around, but some of the chain. Okay. Sorry, Isaiah. Between Rucker and Dr. Mayfield. Okay, so do either of them have it? What is IS-003? Entity is more fragile, usually prone to contamination. Oh! Mm-hmm. I know where that is. That's in the big elevator room. That's the video game. Wait. Staff have been interacting with IS-0083 on their personal time. So the video game is a creature. Interesting. It's not Sonic. It is, I promise, it's a local little family restaurant. They just happen to have tots. Look at my burger. It's so huge. Damn, that's a good burger. So then where? Right. Great, the power just turned off. They did not give me a napkin. How it can be creepy? Yeah. Like, I don't think it's inherently necessarily a scary game, but it definitely gives me the creeps sometimes. So where do I go from here? And how is this not an objective? Rocking chair, gas station. The best burger you've had for a while? I bet. You remember 1985. Okay, so I don't know what to do now. There's a guy up in that tower. This doesn't seem to lead anywhere. Oh wait, those guys are fighting that thing. Let's just watch while I eat. It's like stomping on them. He is not friend. He is just fighting with the other not friends. And they're having a not friend off. I don't know how to kill that thing, so maybe they do. Hi Trem, how are you? Welcome in. So good to see ya. They're not doing a very good job at killing him. I don't know what to do. This clearly is not the right way. No, go fight the big monster. No. Why are you on my ass? Go fight that big monster. Hello? Do you like light? UV light doesn't hurt you? Okay, well. I live here forever now. Oh look, he's almost dead. Wow. Where do I go now? Listen, sir, I'm just looking. I'm just looking. I'm just looking. What level is this? This is gonna be 5. Of course it is. Shit. Well, shit. Hello? Where? Who? Who shot me? Where is that? Over there? No way.
Attention, all hydro plant personnel.
No way.
Has been designated an official defensive boundary. Safety protocols are suspended. This sector
Chester, what are you doing here?
beyond until
Chester, there's a huge monster right in front of you. What are you doing here?
understanding.
Chester, move! I can't get out! Okay. So I've noticed there's a lot of pathways like behind boxes in this area. I am confused. Giant monster following me. Have no idea where any of the sounds are coming from at any point in time. This is also my nightmare. I don't do well with scary. But this is the perfect amount of scary where it's just like, ah, oh, you frightened me. Not like I'm screaming, like peeing my pants.
I killed you.
Excuse me? That was disrespectful. Now, where was I? Not this way. Wait, what's this? Defense sector, office sector bypass? Oh, the check-in. Okay. So then what's this? Just pulled my blanket off of me. "20,000 leagues under the sea. Under the sea. Under the sea. Darling, it's better. Down where it's wetter. Take it from me." No. Okay. This doesn't appear to be anything of importance. Totally having nightmares. I'm sorry, Dibbles. I hope you don't have nightmares, but I do hope you have a wonderful sleep. Thanks for hanging out. Doesn't really seem to be anything. Okay, so they said, like, the doctors have it, or the scientists have it, because they said it was a safety concern. Oh my god. Where are you coming from? Jeez. I still need to make the healing briefcase, and I keep meaning to, and I keep telling myself, oh, I need to make this, and then clearly still has not happened. Where was I, and how do I get there again? Oh, I was here. Or was I over here? I think I went up from the top. I don't seem as squishy, it's true. Healing briefcase, yeah. Okay, or just don't jump that time. That's actually what I meant. When I said push the fucking jump button, I actually meant don't jump. Jason Statham wishes he had my tech. Wow, okay, that's fine. Didn't work out quite as well, but that's fine because there's something over here. You have a leg injury. What about now, bitch? No. How do you jump this without getting on the ladder? Oh my god. There's no way. Do I need to have another one? Ellie, no. No. How did you get that? Gosh, silly girl. Here, you try your boy instead of destroying everything you happen to find. Ugh. Not the first time he's been jealous of me, Shirley. Thank you. Thank you for really just seeing my potential. Okay. Anyways, that was my intention the whole time. Am I back in this fucking room? No hostile. No hostile. Okay, so here's here. Okay, so then I went that way, and then I went that way. First thing we need to do is reset the damn power system after the quake's triggered a shutdown. Right. 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 That is... where? I think this is like where I kind of was. No! Don't shoot it to me. Come on, it's the leg injury is not that serious. That's the electrical station. Ellie, stop. So says the first thing we should do is reset the electrical station, because that's what he said. It's that thing.
Seek fluid intake immediately.
Hi, Shorty. How are you? Is that one? Reactivate the electrical station. Okay, I'll try. Thank you for the lurv. Okay, so... where is this? Take care of yourself. Oh, yam. Oh, yam. But thank you. Thank you for the stretch.
Adversary.
Okay, so this doesn't go anywhere though. Because that's locked.
Location empty.
That doesn't, okay, so how do I get over there? Because none of this connects, right? That's where I was, but I fell. That's the big guy. So how do I get back over there? Can I go this way? This one's locked, right? Oh no, that's the other side. Okay, okay, okay. Now that's open, okay. So this is the other side of this. Now. How do we continue? There's a ladder here, which I did. Right, where's the electrical thing again? That way. Okay, so but what does this need? Wait, I did that the first time I was literally here. Okay, well, whatever. I literally did that as soon as I walked in here and it said it didn't work. So I thought I had to oh, a shotgun? Let's go. Let's get rid of that. Pick up that. Okay, now. Wait, that? Do I have to swim there? That's interesting. I have to find whatever this is. This photon receptor I have to find, because everything else I've got, or I can make, or I've got transformer bushing. I have no idea what that is either. So clearly I'm not on the complete right track, but there's a lot of level 5 hacking things that I need to do, so it's a funny name. Oh my gosh, it drives me crazy when she just doesn't jump. Whoa, where the hell are you, sir? Where did he fucking come from? He was not there before. No, come on. Don't do this to me. I can't believe I have to go around again. And I hear a Luak somewhere. Are mechanical fittings, so it's incongruous. And we laughed, and we laughed, and we laughed. I am genuinely just kind of befuddled here. See this one. Block interference on transmission tower. Oh, this is down. Okay, that's not what I thought. Where my boiga? Okay, that's the subway lady who won't say anything. This is a level 5, right? Yep. Can you take me over to the reservoir or something?
Well, I've had a good look down here, and
Abe, this submarine isn't going anywhere.
No, I'm gonna swim over here. I swear to God, if this is how I find out that there's a water monster. Bet you wish you had webs. Wish I had a boat. I don't see any ladders or anything. That looks like a climbable potential area right there. Yeah, I see no ladders. If I was a sim, I would definitely be dead by now, yeah. I don't think so. How do you get here? Do you need to portal here? Do you go from below? I can't for shit, so. Interesting. Your friendly neighborhood. Na 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 na. I don't know, man. I really don't know. How are you supposed to get in that building? It's gotta be either from underneath, or there's gotta be like a portal or something. Excuse me. Oh, I see a ladder there. Blue antolite. Can I learn anything though if I pick this up? Let's drop this. Oh no, we have to package it. Okay. Climb it before you get wet. A cacophonous crate. Can't open it. Probably can't open this door, watch. Oh, I can, wow. Wherpst. This girl is on fire. She lit herself on fire. BioShock? That's another one I need to finish. I got so burnt out because I did BioShock 1 in one sitting and then immediately started 2 like in the same sitting, and I was just like it was just too much. I was too much shock, you know? My bios were shocked. I'm stuck. There we go. Why can't I climb? There we go. You platted those? Red Dead 2. Yeah, it's on my list of next. Oni, I know you've been around for a couple months now, but I have a really hard time finishing games. I get super distracted. You can use waterways to travel the facility? That's not how it works. What? What? I'm confused. Oh, okay. So I need anti-thermite here. Oh, place thermal mallet? Place thermal mallet. Missing anti-thermite. Why does it say place thermal mallet? Isn't that's what I have? Why does it say place thermal mallet? That's so funny. Anti-thermite? No, not anti. 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 Sir? Stop. Okay, so now, okay, okay. So, do I take this and I go back home? Do I have the stuff to craft anti-thermite at home? I guess we're gonna find out. I do not know. What do you mean?
Electrical systems will be powering down.
Oh. Because I was pushing the wrong button like a dimwit. Like a wit that is of the dimmest persuasion. The dimmest of wits, you know? Yeah, what do I need for anti-thermite?
Unknown facility access detected. Caution advised.
Where do I go to get that again? It's that planet that's really hot. I don't remember where to go to get that. Torches and pitchforks? What does that mean? That's a new one. And I was like, what the fuck? And I remember it was one of those witties. Sometimes you just do silly little things, you know? I don't remember where to go for the anti-thermite. It's one of the portals, but I don't remember which one. Oh wait, can I look at the thing? That's right. I'll tell you. It's not telling me. What the heck? I honestly just can't remember. I gotta figure it out. Like, I remember it being the portal that, like, I was overheating in because I didn't have heat protection. Where is it? Drawing a blankaroonie. I'm drawing a blankaroonie, guys. Do we have any Googlers in chat? Any people who like to Goog? Blankaroonie. That's just weird because usually these things will tell you what you can get from them. Antiverse 2A. Is it the Far Garden? Is that which one it is? Alright, so it's in the office sector, it says. Which means we have to go back one more of these. I just can't remember where to get that stuff. The antiverse gel. Like, I know exactly what it looks like. I remember getting it. But I just... maybe it's in the far... It's gotta be the Far Garden. I just don't know. So what portals are over here? Well, so there's this portal here. I don't think it's this. Whoa, excuse me? A whole ass lodestone fragment?
For what do you seek?
I don't think it's this one. Okay, so what other portal is in the office sector? Wait, he's got like a helmet of like that dude.
Attention. This sector is under precautionary security measures. Please remain in place and wait for security assistance.
This is so old over here. This is like first night we played stuff over here. The air feels normal again. Oh, I'm so thrilled. Where is there another portal? There's the garden one. But that's not in office. There's... Oh, where's the one that's like at the bottom? That's, I don't think that's an office either. I mean, this door is locked elsewhere. How have I not unlocked that door yet? Why is that there? Oh, to go here? Oh, clever. Clever girl. Silo 3. A. I've not mapped this yet? There's no way. Where the hell did he go? Yeah, see, we've been here. It's weird that it just, for some reason, had picked up that map. There's just a flashlight in here, that's great. Charge low spear, sure. Happy with this. Any mirror picking up has already been charged. Cool. Charged X-ray lamp. Nice. It's not the jukebox, no, it's a charger. Charging station. Okay. So this is the mines. Oh yeah, there's one there, but I don't think that's the one that's telling me to go to, but there's one there. I don't think this is it. This was like one of the very first ones we went into. Oh, it is this one. Okay, cool. Wait, right? Is this the one? No? This isn't the one that's hot. No, this isn't the one. Damn, which one is it? It's one that's similar to this, but the environment was hot and I like kept burning.
Dr. Derek Mance reporting. Research Director, Gate Cascade Research Facility. Antiverse 2 is an enigma. A world made of worlds. each of them different, yet seeded with similar life. We know a few certain facts.
What
that
the hell
energy
just
moves more
happened? It
slowly
literally
there,
just like pulled
making
me
growth,
off the edge
evolution,
there.
and change a more gradual process. We know too that materials transplanted from Antiverse B to our own are energy dense. Biochemistry occurs much more rapidly. But how did these creatures evolve? The presence of life, complex life, confounds everything we know about evolution. Was an external force involved?
Maybe it is the other one then?
Only further study can tell us.
What is this? Oh wait, this is above. Yeah, that's right there. It's up right above that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's back where we were. What do you mean the door won't budge? Like, why are some of these doors still locked after all this time? Okay. Break room, silo 3 viewing. Still can't open those, which is crazy. That we haven't figured out how to open those yet. All this because I just need to figure out which frickin' portal to go into. I need my stamina to come back faster, please. Am I wet? Is that what that is? Hydroscopic, yeah. Slowing your thirst for a while, okay. Alright, this is back to the beginning. Now. There's the portal that I can't remember how to get to that's like in one of like the server rooms over here. It's like... I remember it vaguely, but I don't remember how to get there. Yeah, we still can't get in there. I wonder if that will change when we drain the water, but like why on earth would we need to come way back here? How do I get up there? That's the pool. Yeah, this is the laser, which I've already done. Last two, okay. Ooh. No way we haven't been in here, like, at all. What are you? Oh, okay. I don't know how to open those, though. Oh, maybe when you kill what's-its-face thingies, you'll be able to. So maybe we haven't been down there. That's kind of wild. Now, is this tram up and running? I don't remember. I think this one goes someplace random. Or is this one not up yet? Yeah, this one's not up yet, okay. Where is that portal? How come I can't find literally anything? I need to get back to the offices where I need to go. Data farm. Yeah, because where is the... Yeah, where is the room with all the things in it? Servers or whatever. AKA the server room, probably. Come on. Whatever. Tram station kitchen. Yeah, I got that already. So looking for the bush. I mean, I'm trying, like, that's kind of the only thing I can do right now. I have to build an antithermite to progress. And I can't remember what portal I need to get into.
For what do you seek?
Which is kind of frustrating. Ma'am, you're in the wrong place. Ah! Where are all these coming from? Lift access, manufacturing. Mechanical and electrical parts of transformers. Well, there you go. You were correct on both fronts. Interesting that I can come in here, but I can't go all the way in here. Okay. I wonder if we'll eventually get a... like hacking, not hacking, like a lockpicking thing. All right, this is the tram that I'm like, this goes someplace totally weird and random. I'm so confused because I thought that they showed up on your map. Like when you hover over these portals, they tell you what you can get in them. But how come it's not showing me the portal that I went into to get the other shit? Is it the Gate Cascade restricted zone? Oh, this is in the aquarium. Okay. Swimming across got me out of order. You could be right. I just need to find the portal that I went into earlier. I just don't remember which one it is all. If I could remember what portal it is, then I could just go back there. But I don't know. Is it the one at like the base of the little science lab? Is it the one that's like in the server room? It's definitely not this one. I know for sure it's not that one. I know which one I remember which one it is because I remember it's the one that I didn't have heat equipment for and I kept like overheating and dying. Frustration. Hmm. Just need to vent, exactly. Just need to get it out. I hear him. It's not that portal. I know for sure it is not that portal. What? Totally hit the other thing before I hit the ground. How do I get to the place that I'm thinking of? How do I get to the place I'm thinking of? Is the $100 question here. I think I have to go back to base. Bye. Catching strays, I know. Alright. So if I go back to base... I'm gonna look it up. I've already been there, I just don't remember which portal it is. So I don't feel as bad looking it up. Okay. It's over with the mushrooms. Okay. I do not remember it being there, but whatever. Hello, did I speak to you yet? Yes. Heretic. I know. I know. What's this? Nothing. No, that's the Tarrasque. I don't want to do that again. Head to Cool Beans. Beans, beans, cool beans. Beans, beans, cool beans. Cool beans! Okay, so we go this way. And then... what is the fastest way? Do I go? Do I go back through the lab? Or no? I don't know how to open these. I don't know how to open that. You fractured a bone in your leg. Good. Good. Okay, so here's the containment area. Why am I not getting stamina back fast enough? Okay, so then the myconids are just above this. Now I have to remember how the fuck to get back again, too. That's gonna be crazy. You guys think I'll be able to remember how to get back? 'Cause I don't. There's more. Oh, you know what's funny? This is the one I was thinking of, like, visually. I was like, I wonder if it's the one with, like, the lab and it's, like, all the yellow. Well, funny story about that. I was right, but I was also wrong. Okay.
Oh, this heat.
I know, it's very hot. It's very hot. Alright, give me anti-thermite gel. Buzz. Before I simply perish. Here's one. Why am I throwing up? The heat? Am I having a heat stroke? Rope plant seed. I need 10 for antithermite. I've found one. Bro, chill with the puking. Oh, here's one. So we've got 2. Oh, there's one there. How do I get across? You're dying from hunger. Oh my god, jump on the thing! This is ridiculous.
Too hot. Any hotter, I'll expire.
Can you please grab the thing? Thank you. Jeez. Okay. I did those for something and I don't remember what. I can't remember what I needed them for, but I remember I needed carapaces. Yeah. I know it's hot here. I know. It's crazy. Why do I feel like you don't like to jump for me here? Clearly not meant to go that way. Yep, I know. I know. How am I gonna find 10 of those things in here? Oh wait, I think this is a plant you can drink. Yeah. That did nothing, and it put me back in the goop. Thank you so much. Where the heck? How do you get further up? Yeah, I'm just gonna keep puking and dying. I need to get over there. But I don't know how. Oh, I guess you'd use this to get across. Not necessarily up. Okay. Yeah, okay. Oh my god. It's so pathetic. It's so pathetic. The leg injury, which is like literally non-existent, but keeps me from being able to do like full-size jumps and stuff. Yeah, see, I went over here. There's not an up. Like, you can't jump on these things, and I can't jump anywhere because I have a made-up leg injury. No, I know, or I could just be myself and just not get a heat suit.
I'm distinctly I have to cool down.
I just need to, like, figure out how the hell I got over there. Yeah, my stupid broken leg. Alright, so this is... So what I have to do right now... Envoy with the raid! Oh, I get to show off my brand new raid screen and everything! Hi, friend! How was your Chronos stream? Welcome in, raiders! Welcome, welcome. Look at, I have a new raid screen! Look at me! Look at me! Hello, hi, raiders! Welcome in! Do you like my new raid screen? Welcome in, raiders. Thank you so much for being here. Envoy, how are you? Hello, how was your stream? To all those raiders who came on over, hello, hi. If you don't know who I am, my name is Krista, or Pinxel. Most people just call me Pink. I am a variety streamer, and I play whatever the heck I want. That includes things like Lego games, Nintendo games, simulators, shooters, survival games, Souls-likes, and everything in between. If any of these games tickle your fancy, whether it's games that I'm currently playing, planning on playing, or games that are my favorites and I revisit frequently, these are the types of games that I enjoy. But yeah, I have a really quick raid video that I like to Borderlands 4 is coming out on Friday, next Friday. I'm very excited. I do have a short little raid video that I like to show just to see if this is someplace you might want to hang out, get to know us, spend some time, see what we're about, what to expect, all that jazz. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you in a moment. Hi there, friends. Are you a human being with disgusting bodily functions? Everyone comes here for the PPC, the peak poop content. I have poopies for you. I'm sorry that you didn't get to experience the butts. Look at that donk.
Why are you so excited for this?
Oop. And I died. Oopsies. You can't do anything with human meat, which is kind of boring. Put your clothes on. What if you just like collected a bunch of farts? My mom? Are you pooping? I'm a big girl. I do more doors. No! Do you think he survived? This is literally... Let's go faster! I died. What do I do about this giant ball chasing me?
Chaos, come watch us.
I'm trying to make sure we don't die.
Why are you looking so close?
I wasn't. I just looked down because I could see it.
Oh my god.
He's still rolling.
Cannibal swinging at you. The moose is running laps around you. Don't give me that baby. Do you know where your children are? Will you show them to me, please, so I can beat them up? I don't like scary babies in video games. I don't like scary babies in real life. Maybe let's not say those things on my stream. Okay, have fun. Bye. It'll save you hundreds of money on your car insurance by switching to doo-doo-poo-poo. I'm trying to make the poop. Go, bees!
Bees! Get the bees!
Oh
my god! What is happening?
Oh, I keep finding these boners. You can have your very own Greg.
It's soup.
Where are the Vajujans? I just want to be beautiful like her. I am Cat. I can help you. He's totally dead. He's just standing there. Just because I was supposed to move him. I look like the kid from Stranger Things. You can go anywhere on Twitch, and this is what you choose to do with your time. Okay, game is done. Okay, thanks for coming. Thank you so much for the raid, Envoy. I know you probably have already headed to bed, but I still appreciate it either way. And everyone who came over on that raid, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for hanging out with my good friend Envoy and spending time with him. I appreciate it. I am cheating right now, and I'm looking up to see if there's another place that I can go to get this stuff, and there's only one other place, and I haven't unlocked it yet. Okay, well that sucks, because that means I just have to keep going through this place. I am currently playing Abiotic Factor. I have been playing with a friend, but he was not really feeling it tonight, and he said he did not mind if I progressed a little without him. So that's kind of what we're doing today. But we're not making much progression because I'm kind of resource locked a little bit, I guess, technically. There's a resource I need that's like in this like heat area here. I don't know how to get over there. I'm throwing up. See, this doesn't... Oh, maybe there? Oh, really? Every time. I don't think I have the stamina. Like, I think that I can't recover stamina fast enough while I'm in here. Because of the heat. Okay, whatever, sir. So I'm not really sure, like, what else the problem is here with, like, not making some of these jumps. Fly through stamina, though. Look at... I'm not even gonna make it. I think I have to go there and then up and around there. Which is tough because... Look at one jump uses so much stamina. Oh my god, don't! I ran out of stamina. You're kidding. I don't want to have to go and get different armor just to go into this part. Like, I just want her to go. I just want your stamina. I just want stamina. Oh, frustrating. And now I have I'm just gonna die. Because I have a leg injury, and so now I'm not gonna be able to do anything right now. I'm just gonna die. Yeah. And I'm gonna go... Do I want to go back to base? Do I want to go back to where I was trying to progress? I'll try this literally one more time. Because I know, like, I kind of know
too hot.
Where...
I have to cool down.
Kind of where to go. It's just a matter if I can make it with all my stamina wanting to just... Not stam. Okay, so then we go this way. And then... I'm already throwing up. It's wild. Wild, wild, wild. Alright, and then we go this way. And then you go across without... Well, wait. Does that go this way? Is that where you're supposed to go? I know. I'm sorry. It's so gross. And I'm out of stamina already. That's so crazy. That's so crazy! Let's do the one jump. There we go. Actually, this isn't even where I need to go. Go on this one. I'm gonna die from hunger and thirst before my stamina gets back. Come on, stamina. All right. If I can at least get like one per attempt, you know? Right, is there another? Don't see another. I think I'm back down. I don't even think that goes all the way across. Damn. I really think I need a heat suit. I think the only way to do this and to be able to get 10 of them is with the heat suit. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. There are people in my home. Succumb to the heat suit. Well, I got 4. I just need 6 more. So that sucks. I hear you. Where are you? I hear you. Where are you? There you are. Alright, heat suit. What is this? What is this? Wait, there's like a... Look, do you see this little like wispy? The leaves! There's like leaves falling and there's like a little orange wispy right here. What are these leaves falling? See, do you see the wispy? Looks like petals, yeah. Why? What in the Elden Ring is this? Where is it coming from?
Vendale!
Where is this coming from? The wispies, like, don't seem to go in any specific direction either. Like Silent Hill? Yeah, see, the wispies don't go in any specific direction. Yeah, the power should be back on. Something's up. Because it's 9:20 in the morning. The power should be back on. This is like something. This is so creepy. This is creepy as hell. I'm gonna go to the main area and see if I can see anything there. Creepy. It's so dark. It's so dark. Alright, so this is like the main area. It's so fucking dark.
Now rest up. Every day is a new opportunity for...
It's not the upside down, but I am a little concerned because, like, how do I make it stop so the power comes back on? Follow the lights. Well, there's not any Christmas lights hanging on the wall. Yeah, this is dark, dark, dark. This isn't power off dark. This is different. Oh, my nose.
What are we doing here, Abe?
What? I'm actually kind of scared now. I don't want to play anymore. I don't know. It's so dark. I can't even see. Like, it is darker than, like, when the power is off. Maybe nothing and you're overthinking it? It's definitely something. Like, it's definitely something. It's so weird though, like the little wispies. This is so Elden Ring right now. It's kind of funny. All right, let's just put these somewhere, and then we take this back. So we take this back, and then we take the other one that's connected to it, and that should be back at the water treatment. I don't know. I don't know where the fire suit is. Like, if I were to go get one, I don't know where the fire suit is. So, that doesn't really help. This is definitely something. I don't know what it is, or if it means, like, I don't know. Is this progression of the story? Like, it's the leaves that I think are very weird. It means something, yeah. It's so dark. What is that? I can't see anything. Like, how am I supposed to do anything? I can't see. See, look, like, this isn't even glowing. I'm not a fan of whatever the fuck is going on right now. I can't, like, I won't be able to see to be able to do anything. Like, if I have to do a jump puzzle, how am I gonna see it? Yeah, if I turn my lamp off to shoot these people, I can't see. Is this because this isn't because I died in the portal? I'm at a loss because, like, I can't see anything. And if I turn my light off... Are you fucking kidding me? How would I have known that? I have to go to the Night Realm and sit on the throne. Night Realm. The lab, maybe? But, like, how would I have known that? You know what I mean? Wait, no, not the lab. I need to be in security. Which is above this. Clues? It's a throne? I don't know. I don't know how I would have known that. Like, how do you... You know what I mean? Like, how would you have known... If I didn't look that up, how the fuck would I have known to do that? Alright, where's the portal? In here... No. The next one. Well, maybe he'll grab me and he'll take me to the night realm. Yeah, maybe he'll come in here and he'll grab me anyway. I mean, I guess you should have figured it out because, like, the Night Realm has these things, the leaves falling or whatever, but I wouldn't have thought to go there to do something to make this go away. Okay. Sit on the throne. How the hell do you get to the throne? It's brighter in the Night Realm than it was in the damn game. Alright, the throne? Where's the throne? That's a circle. It's good to know. Doesn't go anywhere. Also doesn't go anywhere. Yeah. I don't remember if I've ever seen the throne in the Night Realm. I'm sure I have. And I think I even said, oh, there's no achievement for sitting on the throne. Who is singing? Interesting here. That doesn't go anywhere? Okay. So it's definitely this way. Okay, that's that. Somebody is singing. feel like I went this way already. This doesn't go... Yeah, I was gonna say this doesn't go anywhere. This doesn't go anywhere. Okay, we started that way, so what if we go this way? Throne. Where would a throne be, logically? What's this? It's like a stained glass window in the nothingness there. In the throne room? In the bathroom? You're both right, actually. Ah! Facility emergency venting activated. Weather event has subsided! Oh my god. I have to remember, like, the fastest way to get here. Next time. What have you? I think there's one right here. Or close to here. That's crazy. That was so far out of my way. Yeah, see? I guess I could have put it together, but I did not. Also, I totally missed the notification down at the bottom where it would have told me about the weather event. Did not see it. Who is screaming? Why are you screaming? Alright, so this is the way to progress. But I need to find a heat protectant suit so I can go back in that area. Or I have simply gotten ahead of myself. Mock, are you, did you finish this? Are you further than me? Can you help me? I don't know what to do. Ugh. Okay, so I'm at the part where I have to reactivate the spillway system. So like I'm in like the hydro plant or whatever, right? Okay. So I'm in the hydro plant, but the problem is that I have two things that I need to do. Number one, I can't get to a level 5 hacking device because I haven't found this thing yet, the photon receptor. I haven't found the photon receptor yet, so I can't do a level 5 hacking device. And then I also found another place that you can burn with the anti-thermite, but like I don't have enough anti-thermite gel, and like I can't just keep going back into the mushroom place and keep dying over and over again. There's a layak here. Hello. So I'm just like to the neutrino detector. I don't know what that is, so that might be something. I'll go over to the hydro plant and I'll show you kind of like what I've managed to do so far. Because it might just be... Well, first of all, I just got that wacky weather event where everything goes pitch black and you have to go to the night realm. So I just had to do a complete detour to do that. Okay, so... I have gone and I reset the first computer, the electrical station. I've done that. That's nothing. I can't open that. That's a level 5. The one at the end doesn't go anywhere. That I swam over there. That's clearly incorrect. So I've opened both of these so I can like use the water to teleport different places. Oh, maybe I haven't opened this one. Yeah, I have. Okay.
Video. You guys complete.
I just don't know what the game wants me to do. And that is all the way down at the bottom. So that's not it either. Do none of these open from this side? Excuse me, sir. Don't be rude. Interesting. But that goes all the way down to the bottom. And this guy's being disrespectful. Where does this go? Interesting. Okay, so... Have I not been here? I have. Yes, I have. That's the one. Yeah, okay, I have been here. I'm gonna get shot. I'm gonna get shot. I'm gonna get shot. Okay, I have been here. I just can't open in these things. Bruh. Bruh. So this is 3. Where are these fucking snipers coming from? Oh my god, you're an annoying asshole, is what you are. I can't even go see because every time I step out, I just get shot. I can't even look. It's open already. Okay, so go back here. This is this one up front, right? 2. And then which one does it go to? It goes to 3. I can't get in 4. Okay. 3 is over there. Okay. Why is there a zip line that goes to the bottom, though? I don't understand. Like, there's nothing down there. Like, this is a 5, so I can't open it. So why would it take you down here? Can't go there. This entire building just goes up. What is that? What's that noise? Like, what are they fighting? Oh, they're fighting the big guy. The big, creepy, tall guy. I needed to be day. This guy here. Okay, this open? Yep, okay. So I did this. This was the first one I did. It says electrical station on. Okay. Electrical station on. Right. Where does it say we are? I don't know. Oh, power's back on, so that's nice. This is pump 3, right?
Hostile.
Or is it? Oh, this isn't a pump that you can teleport in. This is the one on the other side of 3? Interesting. Why would I need this? But this one doesn't teleport. I'm very confused. Oh, there's a big guy in there. There's that sniper guy over here who likes to make my life miserable. This guy's gonna be right around this corner. Or not. So there's a security bot right there. Where does this ladder go? Level 5, yep, of course. That's a robot who wants to murder me. What the heck are we supposed to do with some of this stuff? Can't open that. This is death down here is what this is. Oh my gosh, they shoot now. That's crazy. Oh my god. They fly now? They fly now. Good reference. Good reference. A+ ref. Just stand right here where you can't hit me with any of your stuff. Alright, you know what? Let's do it. I've decided to go around you. Oh, level 5, of course. Cool. Goodbye. And now he's no longer aggroed to me. Beautiful. Okay. Come on, I just fought your homeboy across the hall. Level 5. Come on, I made so much progress. How do I even get back there? How do I even get back there? Okay, electrical station on. I think I have to go in there. Right, so this goes to 2, which goes to 3. And then 3. Yeah, I know, guy, I know. Okay, so 3 is where the antithermite needs to be. Okay. Okay. Fuck off, my guy! I need to kill this sniper. I need to figure out how to get over to where the fucking this fucking sniper is. Because he's actually the worst thing that's, like, ever happened to me in my life. Yeah, see, he's over there. How? Get that. Are you kidding me? I just healed. This is my last one. Bruh. Chill out. No, I'm bleeding heavily from a wound again. Are you serious? I'm gonna bleed out. I'm literally gonna bleed out before I can even fucking do anything. I have to figure out how to get over to where he is. He's over there. I'll bleed out before I get there, though. I know. It's this fucking sniper who is not in his spot. He's like in a weird spot on the ground over there. See him? Yeah, I know, sir. You're so cool. Well, I'm coming for you now. Gonna kill me. Because apparently I'm not making any contact with any of those hits. No, I literally, I don't mean to be a bitch, but like, I literally just used my last one while this motherfucker was just sniping me from across the fucking map. I have to go back home real quick, I guess. Time is at 11:30. I don't want to call it early, but I also don't want to make this run again just to have to end stream in, you know, 30 minutes. But we'll see. We'll see how far I get. Oh, excuse me. That's bullshit. I can't believe I, like, swung at him like 4 times and none of them made contact. Bullshit. Shut up. Shut up, sir.
I'm so angry because that was definitely progress.
Where I was not just now with the sniper, but the first time. That was definitely progress. Oh, excuse me. Hip ups. Okay. Let's make bandages. I can only make 7. 7. Oh, excuse me. Damn. I need solder and fiber optic cable for the briefcase. Okay, so... this is probably the best place to call it, because I'm gonna have to go back over there and, like, still figure it out and still make my way through. So this is probably... it's probably the best place to end it for tonight. That sucks though, because that, like I said, that the attempt before the last attempt was definitely progress. That was definitely someplace that I hadn't been before, so unfortunate. Unfortunate. I have to remember to go back in and unclick single player. Okay. All right. We've got quite a few peeps in here because we were wonderfully blessed with a raid. So let's see if we can pass the love on. Ba-doo, ba-doo, ba-doo. Excuse me. Oh, Chaos. Is Chaos ending soon? No, Chaos is still playing. Alright, cool. Alright. I never get to raid him because he always ends before me. Alright, guys. I'm going to go raid Chaos. Our good friend Chaos. I will try to be live with this tomorrow. I want to try to get as close to finishing this as I can before Friday, because Friday is Borderlands 4. So yeah, but thanks for hanging, guys. Go say hey to Chaos. Again, I will try to play this again tomorrow. Maybe Dirge will want to join me tomorrow. He doesn't usually stream on Sundays and Mondays, but maybe he'll want to play. But thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you to everyone who was here yesterday too. It means a lot. Yeah, see you guys later. I hope you all have a wonderful night. Let's copy and paste all that jazz. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.